Yeah, and I wondered, Tricia, whether it was a good moment now to say, well, why do we dwell with touching the body, being perceptive? And maybe we could open up that point of doing something.
Sure.
To do it, you know, to do it, and then if it feels right, I think it gives that sense of letting us do that thing in the context of this discussion.
So I often use this when, because we're all living a 21st century life, which means extremely multifocused, extremely sympathetic in our nervous system, and very charged up, and full up already, and always trying to put more and more in and more out. So this is something I just call self-touch, and sometimes I do it as an entry into active breath. One of the things I can say is you're going to give yourself permission to do nothing, which of course is the most difficult thing in the world. But just so it's going into a kind of call it active receptivity, an inner dialogue, in which you're allowing sensation in the body to dialogue with your attention. And in that, you'll see what happens, okay? So I'm going to talk us through it, okay? So I'm going to just stand. And as you're standing, the first thing you're going to notice is that I ask you to stand, we kind of do a self-correction. Yes, right? We go self-correct. I'm not standing correct. I'm going to put myself into a posture. So I'm going to ask you to let go of that posture and just stand. Okay, just stand. And in that, that's the first little element of allowing your attention to come in and meet the intention to stand in a good posture. Okay? And the next then is just to say, okay, I just want you to notice your breathing. Just notice it. Don't try again to make a good breath. Just allow that there is a physical functioning going on. You are breathing, okay? And just to say, okay, there's a breath that has a certain inhale and a certain exhale, and it is what it is. So then what you're going to do is you're going to put your hands on your head, okay? And again, anyone who feels that they're getting dizzy or whoa, I don't know what this is, you can sit down. You can even do it sitting down, okay? So this is putting our hands on our head. What we're going to do is you want to stand a nice, easy way. And again, I would like you to just allow your attention to notice the location of your breath. Again, keep gently telling yourself, I don't need to correct. I want to just know what's there. And your hands now have a quality of touch. Okay? Your hands are communicating with your skin. And your skin is allowing you then to start to notice that you're touching your head. And the hands, the quality of communication in your hands is that your hands are communicating softness. Softness. And that's going to be a dialogue. There'll be different ways that you feel that, but you're just saying, my hands are giving a touch of softness, and from the inside, there starts to be a response. And that response is to allow a feeling of melting. And the melting is something that's allowing all the activity in the brain, which you are feeling like, wow, I'm touching my hands with softness, and there's a big buzz in my head. I want you to feel both. Okay? But with that, you're inviting the internal flow from your brain and skull to start to feel that it can funnel and travel down through the core of the body, down through the core of the spine, down through the core, through all parts, to the feet. And I want you to notice there's probably lots of parts in the body that are lack of a better word, resisting, not going with that melting. And that's okay. I want you to notice that. So take a moment to feel your hands on your head, to invite that sense of melting, and to use the quality that we all know, which is softness. Maybe you feel it's jittery, maybe you feel your breath is stuck. All of those things might come to the forefront of your attention, and you just allow it to be there. And what you're going to do is that melting is going to continue, and your hands are going to they're going to spread out along the whole surface of the skin of the skull, and slowly come down to the level of your eyes. And again, just notice your breathing. Allow that melting from inside, and allow the communication and invitation to melt. Notice any changes in your breathing, the location or the length of the inhale or the exhale. Softness is the communication. Melting is the response. And then you take your hands and you notice that the pressure of the muscles around the eyes just feel a little bit lighter, or the effort is just allowed to melt just a little bit. And your hands are continuing to slide so you get to the level of the ears. And maybe that allows your elbows to relax a little bit. And your hands continue, they spread out along the jaw. And the jaw just has a feeling it's allowed to drop. And the hands are saying, I'm going to allow my body from inside to soften and melt. The flow through the body, through the core. And then you put your hands lightly around your neck. Put your hands lightly around your neck and the vocal cords and larynx. And you notice your breathing. You invite your attention to notice your breathing. Maybe there's a change in the breath. Change of location, change of the inhale or exhale, and you continue now, and you let your hands spread out across the top of the rib cage, and just to give a top above along the circulation, the vessels of circulation above the heart, the rise and fall of the inhale. Rise and fall of the rib cage. And you're just saying, okay, I'm going to let that core receive that melting. I'm allowing it. It's not my intention, it's just following. And the hands slide along the rib cage to the level of the heart. And again, the heart gets the invitation to feel that it can just soften its effort. And just now continue, the hands spread out, and you go just to the level, it's the xiphoid process, the end of the sternum, it's also the solar plexus, it's the entry into the abdominal region, it's the high point of the central tendon of the diaphragm. We're just inviting it to spread and melt. And continue now down along to the hands. They can change a little bit so the fingers are directing downward towards the navel. and along to the level of the belly. And again, just reminding the hands to lighten and soften and communicate with the skin. And they communicate through the touch. And the touch is soft, melting, spreading, dispersing. And the belly feels that it's able to receive the inhale more lightly, maybe more fully, but certainly just that there's an invitation to be there. And then the hands are going to continue, and they're going to just spread out across the top of the thigh, but what you're allowing is that your head is curving, and that curve is allowing the mouth to come towards the navel, and there's a curve of the responsiveness of the head and upper spine following the flexion. You don't have to go very far. And then the hands are going to slide, again, along the thigh, and the image is as if the hands were touching the bones. The muscles were touching the bones of the thighs. And your hands continue down, and there's just this little folding along the hip sockets, so the belly is resting on the legs. The hands continue down across the knees. And you can feel now the inhale filling the belly as you let the hands slide down the legs towards the ankles. And just take a moment again to melt, spread, disperse fluidity through the ankles till you come to the toes and metatarsals. And you just have a feeling now that the hands are giving the feet more connection to the earth, more connection to the breath. And you feel the belly is filling with the inhale. And then we're just going to come up, but you put your hands on the back of the sacrum to the bottom of the sit bones. And what you're doing is your hands are guiding again. And the hands are bringing the sit bones down towards the heels, which allows your pelvis to rise. And the head comes up, and you're standing. And I want you to notice the difference, if there is. Thank you.